DAW. They got AIs mixing tracks for you now. Well, mastering, so they say. Is any engineers making money in 2025? Is it profitable? With all this technology, everything is now at your fingertips. The golden era is gone. Back in the day, don't quote me on this, but the story goes, there was a whole studio. You had to book your hours, there were budgets, and there was a lot of money on the line. You had bands come through, and those who were lucky enough to afford to be able to go in the studio, they'd be surrounded by so much equipment, and they have a guy in there who knows how to work all of it. Speed forward, computers, they started taking over. Now people got their own project studios. Everybody got a studio these days. I got one on my iPad. I got one on my phone. I mean, like, come on. So, what has changed? AI mixing online templates, quick mix plugins, y'all seen them. Artists are mixing themselves. Then you got the guys on Fiverr mixing something for like $20. $20. Like straight up. You only get so many revisions and they upsell you. But still though, $20. They got Sound Better. Y'all know what Sound Better is, right? They got like so many ways that you can get stuff mixed. It's like oversaturated, you would say. That everybody that really started mixing were actually artists. Like who would have thought, right? And I guess they became like engineers by necessity or default because they couldn't afford to go to an engineer. So plugins came in, DAWs, computers. And now it's like everybody there are mixing. And as artists want their stuff to sound better, you got companies telling them, nah, you need to use this, you need to use that. And all of a sudden, from writing lyrics and trying to get your verbals going, right? Now you trying to figure out compression. You ain't just trying to be just a regular person compressing. You trying to be like the high-end engineers you can't afford, because doesn't that mentality go with the plug-in? It's crazy, right? But you just wanted to do some music. Now you a straight up engineer. So in 2025, is it profitable to be just a mix engineer? I guess people do need recording, and some people, they still want to pay for that. Who's still making money? Engineers with strong personal brands. Those are the guys that are like mixing for people before the industry fall, I'm guessing. And it's, before they started like really like going hard on this distribution thing and seeing who's messing with what music and the 360 deal era, you know what I mean? And I guess they're like mixing for people and coming out with plugins and stuff like that. So those would be the people. And there's some that are independent. I know a few that are mixing records and they sound great. and people go to them and they get mixing done. Those who can afford it. You see, everybody chooses a path. You can go down one path where you can be like, okay, well, I'm just gonna work my ass off and use this money instead of buying equipment. I'm just gonna pay everybody and get it done fast by people who know what they're doing. You know, emulate what the big boys do. Or you can be the other type of person and you wanna take the other route where you just turn into everything. You know, is it trust issues? Is it lack of money? Is it for the experience? For me, it was the art. I can create my own sound. I can make my own beats. I can give it the vibe and swing and feel that I like, just like I do with my words. Oh, I can paint the picture with what effects. Oh, this is awesome. For me, that's what it's like. It was never the other way, you know. I did pay. I experienced that before. And I wanted to do it myself because I always made music. So I like to paint my own vivid pictures. I don't like too many ideas interfering with mine. It's kind of like a painter trying to create a masterpiece. You can't create a masterpiece if you have everyone else's ideas blending with yours, their intentions overlapping yours. You can tell an engineer what you want, and they can only assume you mean a certain thing by common language. But it would never be as if you're painting it yourself. And then you got the other people, they just want to make all the money and limit how much is going out. Hey, it is what it is. Okay, so, you know what they say, right? You can't do everything. Like, who made that rule up? Like, I don't like limitations. And I don't like when people try to put limitations on me. Now, you can see yourself a certain way and only feel that. But that's your reality. That's not everyone's reality. They say, hey, you shouldn't put so many sounds in the beat. The human brain can only hear about like 4 to 5 things at one time, or 6 or 7, I don't know, but it's like very minuscule. Like, dang, well, I can process stuff, you know what I mean? Like way more than that at one time. That's like walking and talking at the same time. You have YouTubers that are making tutorials. Some of them are very good, and some of them is just bad knowledge. You know, I paid for an engineering course. Fab, you know, I got all into the analog summoning by paying for his course. And I mean, like, you know, this is not sponsored or anything. I'm just being honest. Like, and then I got a guy that I know who's just real good at engineering and stuff. And, you know, we would talk and play stuff for each other and stuff like that, talk about gear and stuff like that. You know. So it's like, is it even profitable? Do we even need engineers? Cause I mean, like, dang, motherfuckers is doing YouTubes, selling courses. Hell, you even got the big engineers selling courses. Like, I pay for one. So, I mean, it's like, You know what I mean? It's like, okay, well. And then you got Dave Pensado, you know what I mean? Like, come on. I mean, it's like right there in your face. So, it sells a lot of plugins. I do know that. It does. It sells a lot of plugins. It would even make a person consider a subscription. And you just wanted to make music. That's like a gift that was given to you. And it's been diluted by other things. Is it deliberate? Or it's just part of the matrix and you're just following the code? Or are you programmed? You think? Can people be programmed for that shit? I mean, the buying of equipment and plugins. You just can't escape a commercial. If you can't escape a commercial, they're even in your dreams. You try to watch something, a commercial. I mean, like, damn. Even when you try to go talk to a girl, a commercial. Hell, it's like everything is a commercial. You have like people on Instagram, and then you got people on Instagram who are commercials. You know what I mean? And then it's pushing it to you like a commercial. And a lot of ladies, they all make the same damn commercial, it seems. Crazy, right? You gotta promote on this thing. It's extra complicated. You know, the labels, you know, they have a guy or a girl for that. But you're occupied. You can't make that masterpiece because you're focused on a fucking plugin. And you're focused on promoting. You know, everybody ever thought like, damn, let's just use the DAW and we don't buy no plugins and we turn around and we just use this for marketing and promotion. Or figure out a way to actually make some revenue without getting robbed. You know, instead of just trying to you know what I mean, you gotta keep feeding the machine. You gotta keep putting that quarter in. You gotta promote, gotta promote, gotta promote. Hey, you gotta make a YouTube. You gotta make a YouTube. You gotta make shorts. Anybody ever thought this is diabolical? And then if you actually manage to get to that point where you put the record out and you ain't even getting paid, and you see how everything is very parasitic and it's latching on to everything, and it's going after your royalties. It's going after everything that you done fought hard for. And no one is saying a thing. You're being robbed in broad daylight. And no one is saying a thing. Motherfucker said you can get paid less than a penny. And everybody was like, okay. Ain't one peep. You know what I mean? Everybody was like, okay. Like, what? Like, what? Like, excuse me, back. Now, everybody go ahead and just get less than a penny. Like a penny for your thoughts? Less than a penny for your thoughts? Less than a penny for your thoughts? Hey, you know if 1 million people like that shit, you know what I mean? That's platinum. 500,000, that's gold. Royalties. Huh. You know, Michael Jackson was really big on getting them royalties, wasn't he? He owned half of Sony. That man was a thriller. Whoa. Wasn't he a werewolf in that shit, wasn't he? The Thriller. So why are people engineering? I think it's all by design. Why people always want to claim what you create and then don't want you to create and want to dilute what you create. I don't consider myself a mix engineer. I consider myself an artist. I consider myself a creative. I'm a very creative person. It shows in everything I do. Now, music is not the only thing I do. Funny part about it, I have many gifts. It would surprise many. But for the ones that know me, they know. So engineering, is it really needed? I'm just thinking to myself out loud to y'all. Or is it something to this? Everybody's a beat maker. Everybody's an engineer. Everybody's a mastering engineer. And everybody have the plugins to be those things. Now, we're given some practice and some due diligence. You can become very proficient in using these tools.